everybody. Wake up, everybody. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to all of the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. Thank you for choosing the Street 919 FM as your frequency of choice this morning as we take you through the rest of the morning, Sunday morning drive time, leading up to 1 o'clock. So, as I always tell you, wherever it is that you're taking us in, if it is that you are sitting around your kitchen table having your, well, it's too late for morning coffee for some people, preparing lunch. Morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe, Mr. and Mrs. Regis. You are making your way to and from church or the grocery, the market, wherever it is. Good morning to all of you, Uma and Olga. Good morning to Mother Tunapuna. Mano, morning, Angie. Alison Samuel, good morning to you. To my good friend Louise Mathura, good morning. Patsy Edwards, morning to you, the folks who are now joining us on the Facebook platform. Noel George. Sharon Williams, I'm seeing Ashton Clark, good morning to all of you. Alison Boyce, good morning to you as well. Anthony Reynolds, we don't usually reach out to the folks, well, I don't anyway, because sometimes it can be a distraction. So Jennifer Ferron, Angela Amasalam, good morning to all of you. Yeah, well, it's a sunny Sunday morning and it is now 11:15, so let's get straight into it. So from time to time, I would normally offer a comment or two on my position with respect to what might have been heard yesterday, but I would not really be doing so today because, I mean, I was only able to suffer through maybe the first 15 or 20 minutes of that diatribe, and that in and of itself was penance. So I really couldn't listen to any more. I mean, where I was lost when I listened to the rationale or the logic as to why we shouldn't compare Trinidad and Tobago to the United States, because in the U.S. the minimum wage in some places or most places is $7, and in Trinidad is $17.50. So if a man earning $7 per hour U.S., that he could afford to pay $1 or $2 for gas. So apparently you only need 1 gallon to fill up your tank, right? So, yeah. So if you're earning $7 an hour, don't complain. You shouldn't be complaining about the price of gas in the U.S. because that works out to roughly $49 TT. Yet still we have people in Trinidad and Tobago who are working for more than $49 TT per hour who are complaining about the price of gas. So therefore, that idiotic logic, the most asinine explanation I've ever heard as to why you shouldn't compare Trinidad and Tobago to the U.S. befuddles me. Yeah? Because if you complain, then what you should say is that people in Trinidad who are earning the equivalent of $7 US per hour or more shouldn't complain about the price of gas. Talk about donkey logic. Anyway, but we come to educate and inform every week. And I will keep saying educate and inform your damn self. Wow. Anyhow, so there was something I wanted to touch on today. Is a Facebook clip that I saw, and I know Sharon would have said that she intends to play some of that clip, I think, tomorrow. And it's a clip from one of the staunchest supporters of the PDP, an individual by the name of Bernie Gregg, or Bernie Jack Gregg. You know, she was one of the loudest voices in support of the PDP, and she continues or maintains that she is, a supporter of the PDP, but more so for the well-being of Tobago. And from time to time, she would chastise the PDP. And this clip, this 1 hour or so clip, live that she did, which Sharon will play some of. I don't want to, touch on anything that Sharon may want to play, but there was just one little part that I heard that, really struck me, that I felt I needed to play and give a comment on, because to me it sums up the hypocrisy of a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago, especially those who always want to criticize Dr. Rowley and, the Rowley must go crew. And when you really ask them, why should Rowley go? Where should he go and where should he go? Where should he go to? They can't tell you. Because their argument is rooted in foolishness and nothing more. There is no logic in it. And when I heard this, I was like, wow, boy. Well, I also see that the leader of the opposition would have celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago, I think 2 days ago, her 70th birthday. And she certainly looks it, based on the pictures that I've seen posted up on her Facebook page. So, yeah. And I saw, persons from her party who have sought to offer her birthday greetings in less than a flattering manner. I don't know how many of you would have seen Fuad Khan's video, the 1 minute greeting that he extended to her, where he extended birthday greetings to her on behalf of, as he calls it, all of the bottom lickers in the United National Congress, those persons who brown nose to Mrs. Prasad Bisesa in the hope that they could get a safe district or a safe seat in the local government elections and by extension the general elections. Yeah? So maybe if I have some time later on, I'll play it for you. But also Ramona Ramdial, former UNC MP for the constituency of Couva North, she too sought to proffer her birthday greetings to Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. And before I play my clip, let me just see if I can read this quickly for you. Yeah. Seems Mrs. Prasad Bisesa is losing some friends. But anyway. Right, so this is Ramona's greetings to Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. Dear political leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa, as you celebrate your 70th birthday today, I wish Almighty God grants you the capacity to realize that you can no longer lead the UNC to victory. While we all recognize and appreciate your long service to party and country, that was only possible because of the support from the membership of the UNC. Today, the UNC is not the great party we once knew. It is time for you to put party and country before self, become that selfless leader and step down for the survival of the UNC. Please, remember as the self-proclaimed mother of the nation, we are all your children deserving of the best. Have a good one. I couldn't have said it better myself, Ramona. But you're going to get some blows for that from the hardcore UNC. I don't want to call them sycophants because they like to say it's only the PNM party has sycophants. The UNC don't have that. No, they don't have sycophants at all. They have logically thinking people, who support the party based on principle, not because of any blind loyalty or because of any cult of personality. No, it has nothing to do with that. That only exists in the PNM. And, well, all right. Well, Prasad Bisesa, what can I say to you? Belated birthday greetings, and I trust that you would have had a good one. I mean, 70, as I said, you certainly look it. Same cannot be said for the political leader of the PNM, because I saw somebody did a composite photo of Dr. Rowley, I think, on the beach for Easter weekend, and they did it against the backdrop of a bareback photo of Watson Duke, comparing the two. Certainly, Dr. Rowley is much older than Watson Duke, but, he doesn't look his age. So, to you, sir, well done. Maybe you could offer some advice to the leader of the opposition as to what she could do in order to, anyhow. So let me just play this piece of this clip here quickly. So as I said, this is Bernie Jack Gregg, who is a strong supporter of the PDP. And so let's just have a listen for a little bit.
Kind of shit. And all them coming out. Come out and reach out to the people who vex lost me, don't care. I don't care. I am talking what I seen going on. It's nonsense all going on with. I told my comrade, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke, don't go in Trinidad. He didn't hear what I said. I said, oh, go down there and handbook Trinidad. Let Trinidad politics play with Trinidad. Politics we're going down there for. And then you go down there and talking about Kamla. What are you speaking about the woman for? That woman did so much good for people. All them young ladies who had babies when man wasn't minding baby grant and this and that and the other. She tried her best. When you're telling me he have the people who will feel because of race talk, will say that she ain't do nothing. But all in Tobago here, Kamla did things for us. She finished the hospital, she opened the MIC, she gave us a Tobago Development Ministry where as where Rowley now come in. When Rowley come in, he closed it down and all those people lost jobs inside there. All you behaving like that woman never did nothing for us. Why? She built a gas station in Roxborough. What are you going on with so? If you know you don't have nothing to say, better you shut up. and stop this loose cannon behavior. That will not gain you members in Trinidad. I want you to hear me because I don't business. I don't talk with water in my mouth. That will not help you to get members in Trinidad. Right? They can't cut me pension. Me not meet pension yet. Me now sending me national insurance. Miss Caladine. They can't stop that. Me work from since me 16 years old and me have to give me money. They have to give me money. Me not sit down like Trinidadian and send me this and me that. You know. Me a move out. Me a move out and go look for me money because me work hard for that. Me went to carry the national insurance and they come up on the data. Me not remember some of the places I work. That is to tell you how much I work in life to make me sell something. I have a little food place now and I try my best to help myself. I never sit down and depend on politicians. And what I see going on here now is nonsense. What I see going on here is nonsense. Everybody had to get their act together. Everybody had to realize that people waiting on them and they're waiting on the PDP to fail. That is what they're waiting on, or to fail for them. They don't start to talk already because we know we will have criticisms. Because the people who are in there robbing and raping the treasury, them is the people who are trying to open their mouth now to look good. But they ain't good. Everybody know they wasn't good and they will never be good. Look what they're doing in Trinidad. Look what they're doing in Trinidad. Eh? As of Monday after Easter, gas prices raised. Eh? But it's not the gas price alone go raise. It got to be your food. It got to be the gas in your house. It got to be the fisherman them with their boat fish go up. It got to be everything going up in the country. And everybody sit down and rock.
Right. As I said, I don't want to play too much because I don't know what Sharon wants to play tomorrow, but she will deal with that. But I just want to highlight, and I keep saying, if hypocrisy was a party, it would be the UNC. And the PDP seems to be coming in as a close second, fighting really, really hard to take top place or first place with respect to that saying. Because here it is that we have this lady who's a strong supporter of the PDP. And for those of you who may have listened to the entire clip, she would have heard that she's highly critical of what's happening in Tobago now with the PDP, where, when some of the 14 or most of the 14 assemblymen who fall under the banner of the PDP, when they were campaigning and so on, were telling people, don't worry, everything will be all right. Look, take my number, call me anytime. During the campaign, you could have called them and they answering the phone all the time. Now they're not doing that. They're not answering at all. Yeah? They don't have time for you. They're busy. Telling you, well, come on my office day and come by the district office or the constituency office and chat. But before they come in your house, they want to sit down in your gallery, they're sipping this and that with you. They have time for you. Now they don't because they've gotten your vote, they've secured the win, and they're about their business. So she's complaining about that the youth are suffering in Tobago, they're struggling, they need work, they need this and they need that. And the representatives don't have time for them. And they passing and all they're doing is blowing the horn, and like the horn have a choke. Yeah, all of that's in the clip. Maybe Sharon will play that tomorrow. But what I found instructive, and that little piece that I played there, where she's chastising Watson Duke for coming to Trinidad and criticizing Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And she's saying to him, her good comrade, leave the woman alone. What you're criticizing her for? She did so much for Tobago. First thing she mentioned, you heard it, right? For all them young girl and them who making child and the father don't want to mind the child, Kamla gave them baby grant, $500 a month to make child. Yeah? So, and that was an accomplishment as far as she is concerned. So this is the standard by which she's going to measure the performance of the PDP. Handouts. Let us promote a system of dependency. Yeah? So we leave Kamla alone because she took care of the fatherless children by giving their mothers baby grants. So $120 million was set aside for baby grant, and at the time, up to the time that they left office, only $20 million of that had been accessed. How much of that was legitimately accessed by persons who qualified, and how much of that went into thievery, as was the norm under the UNC, because anything that they touched had crookery in it. Corruption, down to the Children's Life Fund, which was a noble initiative. One of the first things, Cabinet Note number 1, 2010, under the PP. Children's Life Fund established, yes. And then Bacchanal thievery in that too. One woman, I think, got arrested. Anything these people come up with, if it don't have some level of crookery in it, something wrong. Yeah? But that is what this lady is saying Kamala should be lauded for. And then she goes on to say, Mrs. Prasad Bisesa built she gave you all a gas station in Roxborough, and she opened the MIC building, and she finished the Scarborough Hospital. And for that, she's worthy of praise and should not be criticized, because she did a lot of things for Tobago. Yeah? But the same woman, little lower down in the clip, talking about how Dr. Rowley is evil and he's the biggest liar I'd have in this country, and all manner of nastiness that could come out of her mouth with respect to Dr. Rowley. She said it. The same Dr. Rowley. So don't criticize Prasad Bisesa, because why? Baby Grant, she finished the Scarborough Hospital, she gave you all a gas station in Roxborough, and she opened the MIC building, and that is a lot. She did a lot for Tobago. Yeah? But Keith Rowley, it's okay to cuss him out, despite the fact that he gave you not one, not two, but 3 brand new ferries. Yeah? 3. The most. So right now you have 4 properly working ferries, properly serviced and well maintained, unlike what obtained between 2010 to 2015, resulting in the fiasco that this administration had to inherit when they came in. 2 ferries that were on life support. One was in ICU and one was in the high dependency unit. Unfortunately, the one that was in ICU didn't make it, and the one that was in the high dependency unit, it took a little while, but it recovered. So that today it is running well, and you have 3 other brand new ones. Yeah, the most you've ever had on the sea bridge. So this Easter we had no complaints about. Well, you may have had, because I read an article that said 120,000 persons were expected in Tobago for Easter. You ain't hear no complaint. Nobody complain about that, right? But last year, Dr. Rowley say Tobago is the place to be. 50,000 people, they say, went. Oh God, they wanted to kill Dr. Rowley. So he say Tobago is the place to be, and 50,000 people went. We went up in an uproar. This year, 120,000 people were expected in Tobago for Easter weekend. I ain't hear nobody make a peep. Nobody ain't complaining that too much people went to Tobago. You all weren't concerned about COVID this year and the spread and a spike. But last year, all concerned just because Keith Rowley say Tobago is the place to be, and 50,000 people went. But maybe if he didn't say anything last year, 120,000 might have go too. But we complaining, eh? Right. But thank goodness we have 4 working ferries that were able to shuttle some of this 120,000. Thank goodness that is the same Keith Rowley who gave instructions to Caribbean Airlines to try and increase the number of flights going to Tobago, and as a result of that, more people were able to go across to Tobago for the Easter weekend. But forget that, cuss him out and call him the man, the nastiest things that could come to your mind. But don't speak Kamala Prasad Bisesa. No, because she did a lot for Tobago. She opened a gas station, she opened the MIC building, and she finished the Scarborough Hospital, and she gave the fatherless children, she gave them baby grants, $500 a month to buy milk and Pampers. Yes, and for that she deserves a second term. But Keith Rowley, she gave you a gas station in Roxborough. Keith Rowley gave you a whole hospital. But no, cuss him out. Say the worst things that you could say about him. Forget that. For Kamala's gas station, oh yes, let us bend down and genuflect and pay obeisance to her. Yes, oh great and mighty Kamala. But you get a you get a whole hospital. You get a fire station from Keith Rowley. And that is not worthy of some level of praise. Cuss him out and call him the nastiest thing. He's wicked and evil, and he's the biggest liar I'd have in this country. And Bernie, they say ingratitude is worse than witchcraft. You should know about that. Call it, you want a bell to ring. You want a bell to ring. Well, tell Watson, he's going to buy a bell for you so that you could ring it. For what purpose, I don't know. Yeah? So many things this administration has done for Tobago. We forget, apparently she forget, that it was under it was a former UNC MP under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, who in 2018 during the budget debate took issue with the amount of money that this Keith Rowley administration was giving to Tobago. That in her contribution to the budget got up and complained and say, Madam Speaker, you see what they're doing? You see what this Rowley administration doing? They only cutting this and cutting that in Trinidad and taking the money and sending it to Tobago. Why Tobago needs so much money for this? And why Tobago needs so much money for that? Yeah, the UNC was saying that. Not the PNM. UNC. But don't ill-speak Kamala, because she did so much for Tobago, and Keith Rowley apparently did absolutely nothing. You all have a new airport that is being built. After you had that little airport there for how many years? A new expanded airport that is being built so that we can have an increase in the amount of international flights coming to Tobago, so that you could increase the number of foreign passengers coming to Tobago, so that we can enhance the tourism product and create and boost the economy of Tobago, so that same you with your food business, you could get a little more customers, some of them bearing US dollars, some of them bearing pounds, you know, so you could like yourself when you go to the bank and it could show up and support your NIS that you just applied for. But cuss out Keith Rowley and say the nastiest things about him. Disrespect him as much as you want to. Yes, because he did nothing for Tobago. But don't touch Kamala Watson. Leave the woman alone. She has done so much for Tobago. Yes, so much she has done. But the other day, when her best debater in the parliament was criticizing the quality of the material coming from the Studley Park Enterprise Limited from the quarries there, when he said that is inferior material that came from Tobago for the Point Fortin Highway, hence the reason the road cracked, and hence the reason you had the collapse, because of inferior material coming from Tobago. Where was the goodly lady Kamala Prasad-Bissessar to tell him, hey, you're sheer blasted mouth, you're talking nonsense? Where was she? Did she defend that? No. When it is that her late guru Satmaraj said what he said about the men of Tobago, that they only want to rape white women and take the camera, and that you Tobagonians, all they're doing is riding the ferry for free and coming Trinidad, taking the ferry so that you all could go and come Trinidad to make market and go back to Tobago, and that the government of Trinidad and Tobago spend a set of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, to buy new ferry and to lease the Jean de la Valette to improve the service on the sea bridge, so that you all don't have to worry and don't have to complain that the Tobago economy is suffering because of an inadequate sea bridge and an inadequate air bridge. Huh? What did she do? She defended SAT. Talk, SAT, talk. SAT talks for us. Right? That is a national hero. She defended him in the wake of that nasty statement that he made about Tobago men, and by extension calling all in Tobago lazy. Right? That you all are a drain on the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago, that you contribute nothing. Yeah, when she boy sat say that, she didn't condemn him. Oh no, as was the norm, she came out and defend him. But don't ill speak Kamala Watson. Mind your manners. When you go to Trinidad, you could say the nastiest things you want about Keith Rowley and the PNM. You could waste down Coleman Burt and the rest of them. But leave Kamala alone. Right? And because some people, just because of race, will say that she this and she that, but forget that. I tell Watson, leave Trinidad politics. Leave it alone. Yes, don't speak Kamala. What's wrong with you? Embrace the woman. Yeah, because we don't know what's going to happen in 2025. Because if it is that you hope to be prime minister, you're going to need to get some seats in Trinidad, which will be difficult. But you could form a coalition with the UNC, because they're open to that. Because at the end of the day, the overarching objective is to rob the treasury. The work that they started from 2010 to 2015 has to be completed. Yes, you have 500 million in old money outside that needs to be redeemed. There's so many things that needs to be done. You have people already licking the chops for which board they want and which position they want and who wants to do this and who wants to do that. So don't interfere with that. Leave Kamala alone. Why? Because we get a gas station in Roxborough. She finished the Scarborough Hospital. She opened the MIC building, and she gave out baby grants to those mothers making child, and the father don't want nothing to do with the child. And that is what we call leadership. Transformational leadership, as my friend from New Jersey would say. Yeah? So Bernie have a problem with Watson coming to Trinidad to meddle in Trinidad politics. You're wasting time. Trinidadians, they want you. Well, he seems to think that they do. So we will see how that pans out. Right? That Rowley only suffering poor people. But yet still, it's the same Keith Rowley who, as I always say, reduced or rather increased personal allowance from 60,000 under Kamla. So under Kamla, if you were earning 5,000 and over $5,000 a month, you had to pay tax, PAYE. But now, thanks to Keith Rowley, that bracket has been expanded from 5,000 a month to 7,000 a month. So everybody who under Kamla who was earning $7,000 a month and had to pay $6,000 a year in tax ain't paying no PAYE anymore. Yes? So that is $6,000 extra in the pocket, $500 a month. But no kudos for that. Nah, we don't talk them thing. Or we could talk that. We could do that. You can't do that. No. Let us vilify Rowley and his administration. We forget that he reduced VAT from 15%. So since VAT was introduced back in the 80s until he came in, 15%. You go in the hardware, 15%. You go in the grocery, 15%. Anywhere that you go to the showroom to buy a new car, 15% VAT in your waist. And as they say in your patent place too, 15%. Reduce it to 12.5. You ever do the math? If you just bought a brand new car from the showroom, do the math. See how many thousands of dollars you saved on that brand new car because VAT has been reduced from 15 to 12.5. You building a house? When you go to buy galvanized and cement and blocks, do the math and see how much money you saved because VAT reduced from 15 to 12.5. That 2.5% that might seem small, but for a big bill is plenty money saved. But Rowley don't care about poor people. The same Rowley whose administration say, you know what, we want to encourage home ownership for young people in particular, first-time homeowners who are starting out, and they have that desire to own their own home because they don't want to rent. So here's what we will do. We know that the amount of money that you pay on stamp duty can be significant, especially given the fact that the houses that are available now in the private sector for young homeowners is starting, you're looking at about $1.52 million. And when we think that the minimum threshold, the floor for paying stamp duty is $850,000. The same Keith Rowley say increase it to $2 million. So as a first-time homeowner, you could now go and buy a home for $2 million and pay no stamp duty. Whereas before under Kamla, once that house cost more than $850, you had to pay stamp duty on every dollar over $850. So that savings of $50,000 to $70,000 that you would have paid to the Board of Inland Revenue in stamp duty, Dr. Rowley say, here, keep that. Take it and furnish your house. Take it and paint the house. Take it and do something else to enhance the home, to reduce your closing costs, because I know it could be a burden. So that is less money that you have to save. And therefore you can purchase your home, your first home, in a shorter time. But Keith Rowley don't like poor people, and Keith Rowley only oppressing poor people. And program running, Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, giving you the option to, you're getting training in agriculture, you're getting land, and you're getting financing too. Yes, unheard of. But according to my friend from New Jersey, that is not transformational. No. Normally they will just offer a course somewhere and tell you pay $300 registration, and you come and you sit down in a classroom for a few weeks. We teach you something about agriculture and then go and see how best you could implement it now. See where you could get a piece of land somewhere and how you could organize your financing. But the government giving you all of that. Full package, 18 to 35 years old, come. We will help you. But no praises to Keith Rowley. That is not transformational. No. What is transformational? Tell a man he could put on a wife beater, short pants and a slippers and he could walk in license in office. That is transformational. And so a man when he went from 2 seat to 6 seat to 14, that is transformational. But yet still he don't know the size of Tobago. Yeah? He ain't too good in geography. Go on quite Dubai to talk about Tobago is 300 square miles. Really? That's transformational. Pull up in the people place late and expecting what? A standing ovation because you are Watson Duke? You may have been accustomed to that in the PSA. And not in Dubai, sir. That ain't happening. Yeah? But that is transformational. Yes. When you're supposed to be doing the people work that you're getting paid for. Instead, you in Trinidad walking up and down the road in the hot sun. Talking about Spartans. 300. Ahoo! That's what you're getting paid for? That is transformational. We're transforming. How did he transform the PSA? From a thriving union with significant monies in the bank account. And when you left after 12 years, $6 million plus in the red. That is transformational. Yes, you really transformed the PSA. Yeah, from thriving union to a broken union. That is transformational. But we don't talk that. Just because you take it from 2 seats to 14, that makes you a transformational leader. And now the very people who gave you their vote based on your promises, what happened now? They're cussing you. Because you didn't deliver. Because you gave them the impression that these promises would be delivered or fulfilled with immediacy. Not that they would have to wait a year and 2 years. Not that the people didn't expect that the ex gratia payment they were supposed to receive for Christmas, up to now they didn't receive it yet. But then you could say, well, I didn't say which Christmas. It could be Christmas 2023, 2024, 2025. Yeah? I didn't put a specific date on it. And what they're doing? Finding excuses. They say, well, it's all right, the PNM thief, so that's why I don't have the money to do that. Don't have the money to do that. But all the thing, I asked the question a couple of days ago and I'll ask it again. According to Farley, just based on a cursory glance of the information with respect to the zip line, I see enough information here that warrants me sending this document to the DPP and to the police commissioner for further investigation. Has he done that? Has he sent those documents to the DPP and the commissioner of police, or was that just old talk? Was that just convenient for the campaign to rile up people in Tobago to say, yeah, the PNM thief, we're not about that, we're going and vote for the PDP. All the other things that they tell you, all the things that were hidden, all the corruptions that were hidden. 4 months now, going on 5 months, Chief Sec, almost 5 months they in office. You mean to tell me up to now you ain't get a file, not a document, nothing, that you could come to one of your post-cabinet, post-executive council briefing and say, look how the thief, look. Remember we was telling earlier? Not one page, not even one page file you can't get. It's just like the UNC, 2010 to, prior to 2010, they made Calder Hart out to be public enemy number 1, the biggest thief this side of the Pecos, and Patrick Manning public enemy number 2. All the thing called a thief and the this and the that, and we going after white collar crime, came into office 5 years, 3 months and 14 days. How much time you hear Calder Hart name mentioned after they win? Where Calder Hart today? Anante, we know where Calder Hart is, so when we're ready for him, we will bring him. Don't worry, 5 years, 3 months and 14 days. We're still waiting. But it was so serious. You can't afford to give the PNM another term in office because of Calder Hart. And because Manning thief and Calder thief, Uthara Rao thief. Not one man end up in bracelet. Police never questioned. I think the only thing they ever questioned Mr. Manning for was the piano. The grand piano that was right in the diplomatic center there on the stage in the outside. Yeah? That was the best they could have come up with. That the man thief a grand piano. And then when you find it, rather than apologize, say, well, I was just asking questions, I made no allegations. And? Yes. Right. So, the goodly lady, strong supporter of the PDP. Don't touch Kamala. Leave Kamala alone. We want handouts. That's what we want. We want baby grant. We want color me orange. We want 69, or is it 64? $69 a day to paint building. That's what we want. For 3 months. We want a little 3 month thing. You know, a little Kobo sweat for 3 months and pay us $69 a day. Yeah? So we get a little more, and listen to it, right? A man said, don't compare Trinidad with the US because the minimum wage in Trinidad is $17.50 an hour. But you want to pay people $69 a day. They're working 8 hours. Do the maths. Do the maths now. Yeah, but don't compare Trinidad and Tobago to the US. No, because if a man earning $7 US an hour, $56 US a day, he could afford to spend $3 or $4 to buy gas. The average American works for between $24,000 to $36,000 a year. Right? Yeah. $24,000 to $36,000. The average American. You have those who are making significantly more than that. But the average American, that's what they earn. I recall when I went to the US last year for Thanksgiving and I was in the bank. And I was having a chat with the customer service rep. And, he was asking me if I'm staying in a hotel. And I said, no, well, my family we have a property here that we use mostly for vacation. And I said, well, but for most of the year, it's usually empty because it's whenever we get a chance to come up. And he says, so you all rent it out? And I said, no. And then he starts telling me, that might be something you want to consider because in the U.S., rents are very, very high in Florida. 1 bedroom, $1,100 a month. So when you earning $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month, and rent alone is $1,100. And that's just basic, eh? You have some places it's as high as $1,800 a month. But you have a man telling you, don't compare Trinidad and Tobago. You see, we in Trinidad, and then he says because in the U.S. they have food stamp and they have social welfare and all of these different things to support people's income. Yeah? Advocating for government handouts again now. Whereas in Trinidad, we don't have that. Apparently, we don't have things to support people. So a man could work for 5 hours or 6 hours under CPEP. By 11 o'clock he home. And he have the rest of the day that he could go and do a second job and earn more income, but he chooses not to because he has arranged his life around this $1,800 or whatever it is he gets in a month from CPEP. And that is the government's fault. And that's the government's fault. But meanwhile, the people with the deep pockets, they're not complaining. They're expanding their business. I was just reading an article this morning about this new gym that they opened at Brentwood in Chaguanas. So about $16 million spent on that gym. All kind of astroturf for futsal and indoor cricket facility and all kind of thing, Where that money come from? I thought the economy of Trinidad and Tobago is on the brink, according to Barra Jagdeo. I thought the Trinidad and Tobago is falling apart at the seams. But yet still, you have $16+ million investments taking place in a gym? Really? Things so bad here? I see Junior Sammy just opened the Guyanese the paving road and highway in Guyana now. Yeah, same Junior Sammy. So they make plenty money in Trinidad and now they will capitalize on Guyana money too. But for the rest of all here, Venezuelans come in here, Nigerians come in here, Jamaicans come in here and opening business. And you all who born here, grow here, live here, and will die here. All you're complaining, thing hard. You have no money, you can't find no work. Well, that's if you have a work mentality. The difficult to find work is whose fault is it that you not qualify for the jobs that are available, for the vacancies that they are? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That's Keith Rowley's fault? We're not thinking about that. We like to come here every Saturday and talk about 250,000 people unemployed. And we want to play singing Sandra's song, Voices from the Ghetto. As if it's only in the ghetto people suffering. There are no suffering people in Saparia. No suffering people in Chaguanas East or West. No suffering people in Faizabad. No suffering people in Komoto, Manzanilla. Nobody suffering in Oropuch East and Oropuch West. Nobody is suffering in Chaguanas and in Tabakit. Nobody suffering in St. Augustine. The only constituencies where you have people suffering and struggling is in PNM control constituencies. Yeah. All the UNC constituencies prospering. Naparima, Princestown, all them places prospering, man. Nobody suffering and no struggling there. Only in PNM constituencies. And? Yeah. So beat up on the PNM. And Bernie? Do bad talk, Kamla. The woman did a lot for Tobago. She opened my gas station. Yeah, well. One gas station she opened, Bernie. And for that she deserves your eternal gratitude. Okay. So we're giving Keith Rowley for the hospital that you opened in Roxborough. Nothing? Salt? We're giving him for the fire station, Bernie. Nothing? Salt? What? Nothing for the ferries, Bernie? Oh gosh, at least get him man half a clap now. Give him a one hand clap now. 3 ferries. That the Sea Bridge now has been working very well for the last 3-4 years. No complaints. Despite a few teething problems when the Galleon's Passage came out. Every little thing that happened, Wale had to run a video of some pictures to show, hey, look, you see, they buy a whole boat. When last you hear a complaint about the Galleon's Passage? I haven't heard any. Complaints about the air bridge either? No? Nothing happened in Tobago, eh? Keith Rowley ain't do nothing. And PNM ain't do nothing for Tobago. So we could crossway Keith Rowley and call him the worst of names. And then you wonder why it is that we have children behaving the way that they are now, when it is that you have nasty people like the Doug Lyer and L. Roberts, every time doing a live, disrespecting the Prime Minister, disrespecting the President, disrespecting government ministers every bloody day. And you wonder why it is the children behaving the way that they are? Huh? when you want to be making insinuations about the sexuality of the president and government ministers and making allegations of infidelity, all this kind of nasty talk. Because when the children home and the parents who like to indulge in that kind of foolishness, playing these things loud for the children to hear, it's okay to disrespect your elders. Because if a senator could do it, who is we? When you have parents telling the children, hey, when you go to school, don't let nobody advantage you, knock them down and I will go and sit down in the jail for you. I will make the jail. Why? And you wonder what it is happening? Because if it is the leaders and the elders who are supposed to be setting the example and no examples at all, what do you expect? But we wonder, right? And Bernie? Well, all right. Well, let's see. Maybe Watson might buy that bell for you. The ads are coming up. We'll return right after on the other side at 12 o'clock.
I know we've been distant lately. Yeah, I know that things been crazy. But here's what I've come to realize. When you really get your high, ooh, you just come alive. And you feel that feeling that's hard to describe. Oh yeah. So baby come down. You are supposed to think till sundown. We go do what we want, anything. Oh yeah. I taking my own on the road. Show me that way. I just let the music move your body. And you don't have to study nobody, baby. Can't keep doing what you like. Yeah. So when you really pick you up, it won't let you down. We'll have a real good time. When we jam it, come, baby. We'll be jamming, come, baby. And when it pick you up, can't get enough. When we did pick you up, can't get enough. Oh, aye. Walk on the ways and jump on the bass one time. Aye. Wind it go, ah, bad time. Aye. Walk on the ways. Aye. Raise it up.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the Street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the Street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845, 349-5178, or 342-7303.
Eyes, Value Optical Eyes. Get expert care for your eyes and really great eyes. This Easter at Value Optical, get a super 40% off frames, plus extra savings with the purchase of Supernova or Transition lenses. Enjoy these Easter savings until April 24th at all Value Optical stores. Special conditions apply. And really great buys.
Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Roger Garraway and his community of creatives present The Royal Exhibit, a 3-day art exhibition, Wednesday, April 27th to Friday, April 29th. Queens Park, Savannah. Daily start time, 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. under the auspices of the MP for St. Anne's East, Dr. Nyan Gatsby Darling. The greatest and finest pieces ever witnessed by local artists in Trinidad and Tobago will be on display for purchase. Come to this wonderful event and walk away owning a masterpiece that can be displayed in your home or passed down for generations to come. Roger Garraway has now made his mark on the international market, breaking barriers and setting the standard high. He and his group of friends will wow you with their out-of-this-world pieces. This event cannot be missed. You can also enjoy the opportunity to browse and purchase fantastic one-of-a-kind handmade art and craft pieces created by local designers from the community. Special guest appearances by Patrice Roberts, Michael Edwards and friends, Iwer George, Roxanne Lane, Crazy, and Joey Rivers and his band. Food and drinks on sale. Secured parking for all vehicles and all COVID-19 protocols will be observed. Special thank you to the Member of Parliament for St. Anne's East, Dr. Nyan Gaspidal.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division.
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true you have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I can buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 63 Tools.
All right. Thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny, do you have $488 to lend, man?
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT. Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody. Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Right, welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. Just permit me to play just a little bit more for you, and then I'll open the line. Yeah, you see? Just remember, this is a PDP supporter, right? But only PNM have sycophants.
Deceitful, wicked PNMites are them who believe that their leader could do no wrong. The man is such an evil man, demonic and satanic, that look at how he has some of them. They can't even move to suit themselves. They can't think for themselves. Everything that he says, time for everything that he says, they believe that is the truth he talking, and the man is the most blatant liar that he have in the country. And then he have the people behind him that lying just like he. It's a lying country. And then let me tell you something. Don't be distracted by all this. And the whole issue on 104 this morning is only Watson. Don't study Watson joke. It's either he win or he fail. You had to start somewhere to win or fail.
Right, so she could identify, she know that Dr. Rowley is a liar and whatnot, and the people who support him, that they support in the lies. Apparently, Bernie, your memory short, because I recall that the leadership of the PDP, at the launch of the party, when people were asking where the money came from, Bernie, to launch the party, remember what they say? Farley, tell we one cocoa does full basket. Faith told us the same thing. One cocoa does full basket. And that the money to launch the party, the 500,000 that they spent in the Magdalena, came from the contributions of the supporters. You forget that? And then Watson came out a couple of years later and said it was my money. That $500,000 I spent is the money that I take from the PSA under the guise of taking my pension. You forget that, Bernie? But Kit Rowley is a liar, ain't? And all you support that one cocoa nonsense. You ever speak out about that? But you know who lying on the PNM side, but right under your nose, the same party that you're supporting to the hilt. You know, you can identify liars there. Man say he changed his mind. The reason why he took the vaccine was because he lost family members, and the children lost family members, and the wife lost family members. But we see the truth came out, Bernie. They wanted to travel. And you can't go to the US if you're unvaccinated, Bernie. And 1 month later, so it's 2 weeks after you take the vaccine, you take the second one, and you're only considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after the second one. And what a coincidence that just 1 month after he take the first vaccine, he was in Florida, Bernie. But Keith Rowley is a liar, You the glasses that you're wearing there could only see lies on PNM side. But when it comes to PDP, the green too bright, you can't see. You know all who does lie. All right. What's the excuse that they gave? Anyway, it's 12:05. Let me not take up any more of your time. We will deal with that during the week. Let's see what I have here. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Talk to me.
My number came up on the screen there?
Yes, I did.
Right, if you just call me up, it was just 5 minutes here, the time I'll take up after the program. Well, anyway, Dominic, let me start first. Miss Bernie is Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at the same time. You see, Dominic, the fact of the matter is, I thought Trinidadians was going to park up their car, they wasn't going to drive, we couldn't go by family, and we couldn't travel and go here and there and everywhere because the spike in gas prices. How is that traffic jam all over the place since Tuesday? You see, this is the game Trinidadians like to play. Where they find money to be driving? I know a family member driving from since 7 o'clock last night in the morning till in the night, Dominic. Non-stop. Nobody driving less, nobody carpooling, nobody nothing else. Dominic, boy, you see the reality of the situation. What I want people to understand, the subsidy was not moved in. People have got it wrong. The subsidy was under $1 billion. The projection by gas prices being over $100 would have sucked up over $1 billion more of finance. And in order to avoid that from happening, that subsidy from happening, the government had to find money somewhere. So it's either interfered social programs and all these education and stuff. So what we got was $1 extra the pump, which was an indirect tax that everybody could carry the burden. It's not that the subsidy was moved. I think I have it right there, Dominic. It's that there was a projection when I heard Mr. Imbut said is that if you allow the gas prices at that price, the money would have to be found somewhere in order to subsidize it, and the subsidy would have grew again.
Correct.
So that is one. Then Mr. David Abdullah, he said, Dominic, that if we had the oil refinery and we lost in US millions of dollars in US, and if we had the refinery, we would be able to subsidize the gas and stuff. But what the refinery, all over the world have refineries and the gas price went up. America,
Correct.
all the large gas and oil producing nations have refineries and the gas went up.
Correct.
So I trying to figure out, and then Dominic, we was buying over 100
Exactly.
So I'm trying to find out, I'm trying to understand the logic. No matter what, we were still spending a lot of U.S. foreign exchange in order to maintain that refinery. So, Dominic, while you see me at the games, the fact of the matter is, everybody had to carry some of the burden in order to protect the most vulnerable. So, Dominic, while listening over, I hear after the program there. Thanks.
Yes, sir. You know what I find interesting when I listen to Abdullah and Roger about if the refinery was open and the refinery would have been able to absorb somebody. If Patriotic had gotten the refinery, right? If you all were able to get your money together and you had gotten the refinery and you all were producing the fuel, tell me something, Roger and Abdullah. Would you all have been willing to absorb the increase in the price of oil? Right, and keep fuel at what it was, when it is that you will have obligations to your lenders to earn as much money as you can in order to pay back the people the 700 million or whatever million that you all would have had to pay. You see, you could talk that crap now because you didn't get the refinery. But if Patriotic had gotten it, would have been a different song you all would have been singing. Well, I feel everybody come down in the last shower rain. Miss us with that beer, summer, please. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Hey, good afternoon, Dominic. How are you?
I am good, sir.
Yeah, man. Listen to this contribution from the last caller. They're very good observation about the subsidy. But with respect to Mother Booty, Dominic, as far as I am concerned, Mother Booty is probably an old ragman of the DSC. And perhaps if you check the travel history, because I think you probably need to talk to Mr. Archer about it, whoever calling from Tobago. Mother Booty is anti-PNM. Very anti-PNM. And I would be surprised if she has been a staunch member of the DSC since time immemorial. What I find very strange in her comment is that she's still praising Kamala Persad-Bissessar. What does Kamala Persad-Bissessar do for Tobago, in your opinion?
Well, she said baby grant.
Right? Baby grant. Now, what kind of mindset is that? And what started about it, Mother Birdie is supposed to be an elder. That is very toxic to the younger generations in Tobago, particularly for to Trinidadians of African descent. So, young people is taking her advice. And I understand why they voted in such a way last year. Because people like Mother Bertie, who's probably a DSC supporter, who have anti-PNM sentiments since time immemorial, since the days of Robinson, making them type of statements. And against Dr. Rowley, who is she own kinsman, a Tobagonian himself. That shows that she has a hatred for the PNM. A deep-rooted hatred probably since DSC times. But like I said again, I am casting this question. Let's hear what the other Tobago have to say, like Mr. Archer will call and find the history of a political thing. Because I want to find out if that is the case. How did she react when Kamala Persad-Bissessar came in 2012 to campaign and the red wash victory in Toronto? What did Mother Booty say about that? I would like to know about that. Don't you agree, Dominic?
I do.
I want to find out how she reacted when the PNM red wash in 2012. Did she cuss up the Tobagonians for supporting the PNM, and what she think about Satmaraj? What she think about the East Indians who have their views on Tobago? There's a certain amount of Tobago who want succession from Trinidad, because as far as they're concerned, they do not like Trinidadians, particularly of those of African descent. That is my observation. Apparently they look upon Trinidadian Africans as being lazy. We do nothing, and they come up to the island to thief from the Tobagonian Africans. Right? But they don't seem to have a problem with the other races who come and buy land and open hotels. They don't seem to have a problem with that. You see where I'm coming from, Dominic?
Yeah.
But like I say again, I don't know, some kind of island discrimination, some kind of thing. African people fighting against African people. And that statement she make about that, you gotta look at that. But you have a good day, Dominic.
You too, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Dominic. And to your listeners, and to the listeners.
Greetings.
All the brothers, St. James, AC, morning. Dominic, simple contribution. I just this morning, I had a run-in with one of my brethren, who just called me a blind loyalist. When you're trying to explain to them, when you see what is on the table, as far as the PNM is concerned, when you look at the guest halt, I don't know, that word might fly over plenty of people here, right? Of what it takes in terms of the chronology of development in this country, this is where I base my support. They still want to call me a blind loyalist. Imagine, they're blindly loyal to, that song, I'm going to simplify it, Imps, Pimps, Chimps, and wherever. And I pack a cook. When I started reminding him about the past, about life sports, about Miss Dana Kahal, when they just get vexed, they just pull back and say, me, I ain't into no politics. When I started jam them with the reasons that has made me run and fuck up the PNM. When I watch, listen, Dominic, you know I believe in my aliens and I believe in my PNM too. Why the hell I must believe in what I'm believing? Why I must buy into all this that are short-sighted dotishness and they don't even have anything more intelligent and give you a good reason to not support the PNM solely. If you understand, and it is so frustrating and annoying when you try to pump some sense in these people's heads. But I kind of give up because they only could point out on the other side the frivolous things that it have, but you know, right, the big log that jam down in the eye, you know, them are watching what them supporting, you know, and it right in front of your face, you know, Dominic, is none of rocket science to unravel the nonsense they just vote for, and how ridiculously bigoted and prejudiced they are against a party that run in this country for me, and that is what is
Kola, you listened yesterday?
Say again?
You listened to the show yesterday?
No, I couldn't. I didn't. No. And I'm kind of glad to because I give up on them brothers and then boy, they just frustrate the living daylights out of me in terms of the lack of anything.
Yeah, but yesterday proved that, eh?
No, real talk. And I tell myself I ain't really miss anything. Come my phone kind of gain some trouble. I just shoot and say, well, I go listen to your program today. Dominic, locked on and listening. Great is the PNM, and I will always believe in aliens because I what them believe in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Dominic.
Hey, Jenny.
Good afternoon, all the callers and listeners on 91.9. Mr. Chance, Wanatana, Zina, Manu, everybody, to the Tobago clip, Mr. Monk St. George, Mr. Archer, Miss Rowley, everybody else. Well, that situation with Mother Bernie, if that's her name, I remember during the elections of 2021, yes, was last year. She was very nasty and insultive to people, persons who are PNM. She said they have no shame, and she shows the food card people and who must go to hell and all those kind of things they were saying because they believe in what's in Solomon Juke and felt that we only speaking out against him because we hateful. And we want to be going nothing because of PNM for 21 years. PNM ain't get nothing. PNM ain't get them nothing. And how Kamala come and get them, gas station and all. So I don't know why she's making videos now complaining to the fact that the same PDP that she supported so vociferously that now that they're not reaching out to people, they're not answering this phone and all that. We don't need to hear that now. We need to hear you all saying in Tobago, everything is nice, money running nice, everybody working, the sky is raining milk and manna falling from heaven. That's what we expect to hear. But I don't want to hear Mother Bernie complaining about no PDP now. PDP? Well, we want them about PDP and what's in Solomon Juke. I don't know why you play her to hear what she complaining about. Let them keep that and deal with that. We talking Trinidad here now. Dominic, did you see the Denise Rem report in the today's papers?
No, I haven't.
Let me tell you something. I just saying what in the report. This is real Kankata. I just read a little part. It said interception equipment obtained by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service was done via Soul Select, cost millions of dollars and lacked cabinet approval. Under the Constitution, the Commissioner of Police needs cabinet approval to spend in excess of $1 million. However, cabinet as well as the Central Tenders Board were bypassed when the contracts were split to fall below $1 million so as to get a wrong approval. That is in the papers today. People read it because this thing with Mr. Gary Griffith, the former Commissioner of Police, and the way he continues to behave, and then the Prime Minister is saying one thing, which this report seems to support what the Prime Minister has been saying. This not looking good. And as a person who was in high security in this country, as the former Commissioner of Police, who was in charge of the safety of this country because at one time he was the advisor, the security advisor to Ms. Kamala Prasad Biseswa, and then he was the Minister of National Security under her, and then he became the Commissioner of Police. To have him going around saying these things, I think credibility will be a big, big issue that he's having, and not to mention the fact that security breaches may be done. So I'm hoping that this situation comes to a speedy resolution because it does not look good. It does not augur well for our country. So people should get a report and read it. Again, it's not my report, it's a Denisian report. And back to Tobago again, quickly, as I say in Maraboni, take bamboo, all you have to take that. I mean, no disrespect, but Oli was very confident in Watson Solomon Group. And to the people who continue to whine behind because I hear in theater, some big truck he was down somewhere in South and I hear that woman all whining behind it. I hope after all they whine down and whatever, the next morning all they get up, all their house, all the house full of food, all the children have work, all they was able to send all the children to school and everything is good. I hope all they just do that for $300 in a Jersey and then all they go right back to bowling, PNM and do nothing. So we are not going to be hungry and the country hungry. People know what is right, do the right thing. We're not worse off than any country in the world. All over the world going through the trial and tribulation with gas prices, the war in Iran and Russia, all that is happening. While this transformational leader, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, continue to steer us in the right direction. You could like him, you could lump whoever you want to do, but all you know that all the deep in all the heart and that we have all the best, all the jealous them to him, say want to put that transformational leader. Waste that time and you take bamboo all day 2 years, are gone.
Thank you, Jenny. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. Mr. Jenny, well, as bamboo, as I say, no disrespect for them. Because, yes, I Dominic, my radio station no more.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Dominic. You hear me? Because I hear you.
Bartaria, not hearing you.
Yeah, but I coming through the radio.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. According to Jenny, everybody had to take bamboo, you know, so I'm not frightened. But yesterday, my radio station don't move. So yesterday I saw a man who put on a jacket to come to tell me about he come to, what? Educate?
Educated inform.
That'll be. He had, who we doing that? By putting on that jacket, make him feel he was smart or intelligent? Because yesterday a man called. I spoke to Precious and him on Friday concerning petrotrin. And I had to explain to a young man that was sitting down with Precious that the government had to import over 100 and something thousand barrel of oil to keep petrotrin going. And a man who come to educate and inform, a man called and asked him, well, what it is that was importing the oil for? And the man who come there to inform and educate couldn't explain to the caller. So you know the reason for the 100 and something barrel oil was to keep petrotrin going. So he can't inform and educate nobody. After we see, you see, if you observe what is going on in, you know, I saw this morning, Dominic.
What's
talking about gas price. I saw a place in, is it Nigeria, one of those African countries, where these people keep crude oil from pipes. And they refine their own crude oil to make their own gas and diesel. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Where a man taking 2-3 barrels and he have a portion of a savanna and he taking the oil out of the pipe and he turning this oil into dieseline, kerosene, and gasoline. Yesterday or sometime there was an explosion. In how do they call this? How do they call this plant? They have a name. A man who set up a refinery, a contraband refinery. Where we put it down, yes. Like a man who making bushrum, and this thing exploded. And you wouldn't like to see how much people this thing killed, how much fire this thing caused because of gasoline. I saw a place in Venezuela, have a border. I wonder if it's Colombia or one of those Latin American countries, where man toting gasoline because gasoline in Venezuela must have cent a liter. And totaling from one country to another country to sell gasoline. And I have a man come to inform and educate and don't know what he was importing 100,000 barrels of oil for.
But Bartari, as you mentioned that, you remember during the PP era when there was the diesel racket?
And up to now I have a man who's still pulling fuel. Up to now can't answer that question. How much? Yes. Because they want to tell me about AV drilling. I want the man with the trucks to tell me how much he has petrol in existence, how long he pulling fuel for. So how long he come with a plan to total how much 1,000 gallons in an extra tank in the trailer. And they don't talk them kind of talk. You see, they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk about Mamu, who go on Panama with my money. They don't want to talk about my $1 billion that the man was getting me the wrong about instead of five. SIS or SRS was the name of the company?
SIS.
That go on with my money. We must remember these things, you know. I must remember that I have a woman tell me there are people with money, with what? Money walls in the house. And you know what is squeezing them? This $500 million that they can't spend, have them on easy. So they're paying people like dumb and dumber. If you realize, the sidekick ain't come yesterday because the pushback movement get pushed out, you know. The pushback movement get full up. Robert Amar crying for himself. Oh God, if I know Trinidad, I think so. They get beaten out. They expect Trinidadians to come out and burn down tongue like what happened in Cuba. Anyway, France have election and all that's not bullshit.
Yes.
All those countries, what you call them, countries in the Caribbean that's still under colonialism. Haiti. Haiti. Telling me about because they raise the gas price in Haiti, people burn down business and blah, 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 blah. So I asked myself, if that is what they wanted to take place last week, Tuesday when school opened, if that is the direction in which they was working on the population. Because I asked myself, is only African people getting baby grant? Because if
Apparently.
Baby grant only for African people alone that make babies and only African women that be suffering and don't have child father, right? Well, enjoy the Bruce Dominic. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, they forgot back in the day under the PP. Remember how they used to be doing the same subsidized diesel? Yeah, they used to be going to the gas station and filling up these big containers at the back of the van and stuff and then going and selling it to islanders for the higher price. You all remember that? That was taking place under the PP? You forget that? All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Dominic Romain.
Yes, sir.
A pleasant good afternoon to you.
And to you.
And a pleasant good afternoon to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And Dominic, before I end, I just want to say I hope you have a splendiferous, fantabulous, tremendiferous, marvelous, and spectacular rest of the day. And Dominic, I want to be honest with you. Dominic, I appreciate you give me whatever time you give me in order to comment on your program. Because there seems to be a new trend in Trinidad and Tobago today. If you support a party, but you're an independent critical thinker, and you may not follow along what other people just following along with, the first thing them people want to say, and I have to call them, those who go along, get along, P&M gang. Ban him from the radio, ban him, because you don't want to hear him. But let me go on, Dominic. Dominic, I hear you said that with respect to people struggling, And I ask myself this question, Dominic. Why are black poor disadvantaged people struggling more in the P&M constituencies? I ask myself that question as a person who lived 18 years of his life in Chumaka, Claventil. And when I come to Trinidad, Chumaka, Claventil is worse than when I left it in 1977. Secondly, Dominic, I think we are unfairly criticizing people who are making certain statements, and these statements should be made, right? The Prime Minister called people imps and chimps. He also called someone King Kunumuno as well, right? So therefore, if people on the other side are making statements, it's not right, but the Prime Minister should lead from the top. He should lead from the top. So if the children hearing him say that, what do you expect the children to follow when they hear the Prime Minister using that type of language? And Dominic, thirdly, and before I go, you know, Dominic, the PSA hater, I don't want her to stop stealing my titles. Please, come up with your own titles, right? Come up with your own titles. All in a sudden now, the PSA hater want to name someone transformational leaders. When I coined 2 transformational leaders in Trinidad, and I'm going to close with this, Dominic. Dominic, here it is. What the transformational leader of Tobago have done. Tobago Pop-Up Shop, a new initiative that highlights Tobago unique product and present business owners with an opportunity to build awareness. Student island-wide resume in-person classes. Stationary vouchers to assist students in need. Maxi taxi drivers who transport children will get 25 to 30,000 grants. Tourism grants. Right? New form of tertiary grants funding is being considered. Dominic, these things are transformational.
So what is happening in the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service with agriculture? That's not transformational.
But Dominic, the PNM wasn't there for 21 years and they didn't do anything.
Yeah,
they
but
sit
is
on
that
their hands.
transformational or not?
Yes, it is transformational
So
because it was never done before by Tobago.
Nah, well, you need to talk about that too.
It was never done before in Tobago, so it's transformational. When there were new ideas, Dominic, I want to ask you one thing before I go. Can you give me one innovative idea in the past 7 years under Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley that we have implemented in Trinidad and Tobago?
But we just tell you what's happening now with agriculture, where the government is providing training, they're giving you land, and they're giving you money too.
That's what you call innovative, Dominic.
That is very innovative, Dominic, because before all they would do was to offer a course until you pay $300 to register, come and do the course, and whatever happens after that happens. But now you are being given land free.
Dominic, you are a very intelligent person. Dominic, when we talk about innovation,
well, you see, that's the problem
we
with
are
this
talking about
because
things
you're
like
finding
Uber.
ways to beat down something that is very innovative. Because at the end of the day, where they're focusing on the same PNM constituencies that you say they're not doing anything in is the black youth in these constituencies they're targeting to become entrepreneurs in agriculture, and they could boost diversification, give credit where credit is due. Come now, man.
Dominic, it's a great idea. It's an excellent idea.
I hope the children, the black youth in
innovative.
Trumakak will take up the opportunity.
Well, Dominic, first of all, Dominic, it's hard for them to take up the opportunity because they've been looking at an abandoned building for 7 years, and their mental health is not in the best place. If
Well,
you
see, they have
fix
two abandoned
the mental health-
buildings in Shogunas that started under the UNC, right? The towers that they call it. Yeah. The disadvantaged youth in Shogunas seeing that. You think that's going to prevent them from wanting to access this program?
Dominic, you see, Dominic, no.
I want you to go on Foster Cummins page and see the photos that he put up of the community garden and see what is taking place in La Joqueta, Wall Street.
Dominic, I see all those things on social
Well, then
media.
why you're not
I
highlighting it? Don't make it seem as if the government are doing nothing. And since Farley and Watson come through, is all of a sudden Trinidad and Tobago transformed? Come now, man.
But Dominic, and I'm going to close with this. Dominic, you see what happens, Dominic, is that we are trying to vilify Farley Chavez Augustine, and we are trying to vilify Watson Solomon Duke and saying, oh, there's this and there's that, and all they take that and all they want to criticize Mother Boney. At least Mother Boney could come out and speak truth to power and not be victimized. She can come out and speak, and I can say that. Speaking truth to power in the PNM, you cannot do that. It's unacceptable. Either you follow in the line or you go get victimized, Dominic. Dominic, I appreciate very kindly. I say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, no one makes you feel inferior what you're concerned. And in Martin Luther King, your life ends the day you remain silent about things that matter. Dominic, you have a fantabulous, tremendous, splendiferous, splentacular, marvelous rest of the day. Thank you very kindly. Bye-bye.
You too, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Dominic.
Greetings.
Dominic, you know, Jenny is the first person on radio I hear talking about transformational leader long before he started calling.
That's true.
I don't know where he get that from. The first person I hear talk about transformational leader, and Jenny has been talking about Dr. Rowley as a transformational leader long before he started talking.
Long time.
Long time. This fella does lie a lot. But Diana, I know how to start doing. See if I could get clips of his contributions and factor it with the facts of what is happening, like with Watson Duke before the court, Watson Duke and his tenure at PSA, Watson Duke at the tenure now at the THA head, and compile that in a thing and share it among his peers in whatever university that he claims to be, because somehow I still doubting that he is whatever professor he proclaims himself to be. A thing I need to research or get some information like that to see if he really is a professor there, because if he is really a professor and this is what he comes and take up his time every Sunday to come and to give misinformation and propaganda as a educator, I think his president should know or the dean of the faculty or those people must know what he is all about, because people have to be very very, very careful on how you teach. You know, you can't be on one side speaking one thing on your tongue and you're talking about a set of things about lie, and then you have to go and teach people children. Your credibility has been lost, and I think that they're supposed to know about that. This gentleman is very, very dishonest. Very dishonest. You see how we're jamming? You see how we're jamming? How easy it gets in? About nothing has been done with it. How much schools? Check in the districts and tell me how much schools that in the district of Laventille from Port of Spain to the Quasi going up the road, right? And check the schools in the area. Check how much schools in the area, and then check how much are these trade schools that it has in the area, and compare that to the other districts in Trinidad and Tobago. And those schools were put on by the PNM. So if you're not if you're not well in your academics, now you could do those sort of courses to go into something you could do. What is happening is that we're not getting the children focused enough to take up these opportunities. Because one thing I can tell you, those kids and them who grow up, they may not be able to read properly and to do a proper math and those things. But once you give them a trade to do, they hang on to it very, very good. And this is why the PNM has put those trade schools and them in the district up there to help them. But what is happening, they're not levitating to that, and they're levitating to the guns. So when fellas like Wall Street who stay out there to do these tricks that is only going to benefit him, to talk about some building, some kind of crap like that. We don't need that, because you didn't sell your idea properly to the state and to the government, so they would not invest money in a losing business venture. Instead of doing that, they put on the swimming pools. What's something you go see somebody from Laventille coming out from inside those pools, and them they that bringing medals to Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me see. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. 726. I'm not hearing you.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Yes, Dominic. Oh, go here now, Dominic, oh God, why do you call us that, boy? I literally had a load of my radio, just not to hear that man talking. That man
you had a loud
every single day. It's the same rhetoric with he don't bring nothing of value on the table. Nothing whatsoever. You understand? God. Yes, now. After when I hear that voice, I just lose my radio totally. I was online, I just come online. I just don't hear that, man. You understand? It's people like them so have the youth in this country and this culture behaving or behaving. It's like them so, they're not giving any upliftment or encouragement. Everything is the PNM go along, get along gang. The PNM go along, get along gang. Every single day, people fed up here on Wall Street. And then I tell Aisha Wells Friday to ban you from calling the radio because you don't make no contribution that warrant a good encouragement. You understand? It's every day. You understand? People on the live, they're cussing right now. They say, but why Dominic this man talking long so? Just cut you off one time. People for the BIE. You understand? But anyway, Dominic, I must say, this Mother Bunny, she was the same person who was cussing, who was championing, who was saying, yes, all them dirty PNM and these, and yes, and all kind of derogatory names that are called PNM supporters. Now you're coming to cry and weep. Don't cry and weep now. Take what, or they vote for that, or they take that in 2024, or they have that and more to come. You understand? And the alien man is not in pimps and chimps. It's drunkard and deadbeats, bandits and bullers, pimps and prostitutes running that establishment. You understand? That was
all of them have to put it into because all of them have no credibility in this country whatsoever. Dominic, I'll look on listening.
Thank you, sir. Let's see who else we have here. Right. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Dominic, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon.
Well, the last caller said what I had to say. Dominic, why are you allowing this man to stay on the radio so long talking nonsense? Dr. Rowley never called the people. It's their own supporters say that about them. Hello?
Yes, caller.
This man is coming the same thing over and over and taking up time. I mean, you could allow him to talk, but you have to get rid of him at some point in time. And you have a good Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
See, what you don't go to the limb for you, I just get buff boy. But you know, sometimes you have to engage. You know, I mean, if things are being said, you have to defend your position, as I told them. You can't be saying what's non-fairly transformational and you're not giving kudos to the things that are being done by the central government. Talk about what is happening in the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. That is transformational, right? Call the radio station and tell the youths in Trumakak, hey, all you take advantage of that, eh? Why advocate that they should tear down the 2 buildings and make that land available for the youth and them to plant and make some money? Could do that. Let's see who else we have. Hello, good afternoon.
Uncle Dominic.
Yes, sir.
I say like everybody, oh God, you must get rid of Wall Street. Wall Street monks and just say that, get rid of you, don't engage this man, he's a stupid man. Sister Jenny is the first person after Dr. Rowley been saying that he's a transformation leader, but take what word from him. Take what word from him. But look, go from here. Uncle Dominic, me not beating up on Bunny. I want her to know the things that the PNM did. Kamla built a gas station. What it is a gas station better than a hospital? Is a gas station better than a fire station? Is a gas station better than a police station in a community? Is a gas station better than a housing project, which we call a housing scheme? There is one right opposite the gas station, behind the police station, behind the hospital, right there with hundreds of people living. All was done under Mr. London and all the, they even call the area the Renaissance, which is a big name in America. It has an administration building in Roxborough. And it has a community center in Roxborough. It has plenty other things it even had a gas station there before Kamla built the one that Bunny talking about. This is something that you rating somebody for a gas station? A gas station that's holding maybe 3 more cars than the original one that he had that is privately owned. Uncle Dominic, you heard the amount of things that I call out, and this is just a part of it. It has a secondary school there, Roxborough Sec. It has a works department area there. It has a police youth club there. So many things it has right in Roxborough there. All was orchestrated by the PNM government. So when Bernie come in to talk about a gas station in Roxborough with Kamla, that is all was done. She talked about the development that Kamla had opened, some Ministry of Tobago Development. Had a man named Delman Baker running it. And you know what they were doing? They had some white Navaras with either husband and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend or some man taking some other woman. They have on black pants and red shirt and they were driving all through Tobago here. I mean, I don't even know where the Navara and them is. Maybe I could do some investigation on it because they close it down. People just going in, sign and walk out. And the building, it is alleged that the building was her building, built by one of her family members who has a hardware in Tobago here. And they were renting it with taxpayers' money for millions of dollars. So I don't know what this woman is saying. She's my village woman and she's related to me. But them so can't fool me. Or they could tell the people who don't have sense all these nonsense. And Mr. Wall Street, let me tell you, come off the radio. Come off our program and talking about this delicious and that delicious and all kind of things. Cake bamboo, boy. Cake bamboo. You don't know nothing about Tobago. Tell me where, I asked you already, I want you to tell me where your father from. What is his name? Because you must say he never mind you. And you know why he didn't mind you? Because he's a stupid Tobagonian like you. If you are one. Foolish. right? Because I know it's only you couldn't come as a big man to talk to tell people that your father didn't mind you. You understand? So your father is not a Tobagonian. You just make up that to take a part of Tobago and talking about what you can Farley do this and do that. The same school that Farley went to is government supporting to go to that school. The same school you went to the same Roxborough Secondary School and all the other schools. I didn't even believe, Uncle Dominic, that it has 60 primary schools in Tobago. You wouldn't believe that. I never believed that until I heard it the other day, that 60 schools in Tobago need this and that, blah, 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 blah. Come on, people, come on. Why are you listening to Mother Bernie talking about gas station and MIC? The MIC building was there. It happened that Mr. Manning called the election and it coming to UNC, so they had to open it then. But it was something was there, and they was waiting to furnish it and put in certain things for the guys and the girls to learn whatever they went there to learn. The hospital is had a controversy with it, where Emily Elias and even our Prime Minister now, and that went to naught because they had a fella, a liar, thieving fella that Mr. Pandemic, a politician named Skippy, come up with, fabricate some foolishness against Dr. Rowley and create a problem. Then they take the Chinese, I think was Shanghai Construction, to finish the hospital. That was after the initiative. Mr. London was right there when they opened it. And Kamala come with Fraudcan and saying they open it. And Mr. London say it is how we say it? It is a coalition or whatever, collaboration with us, House of Assembly, and it was a central government initiative. Ms. Bernie, you know it have a big gas station down in Canaan? You know it have one in Plymouth? Do you know it has a gas station in Canby? Do you know it has a gas station in Scarborough? So what are you talking about gas station? Gas station is better than a fire station? Well, okay, Dominic, let me give somebody else a chance to say something before you close the program, yeah? You come on and wake up. Wall Street, go from here. Sister Jenny is the first person to talk about transformation. What the hell you know about transformation? Well, he's 18 years you spend in Chumakat and you spend 40 years in New Jersey. Why you not transform the people there who is, as Uncle Dominic said, 1.3 million, the population of Trinidad and Tobago, who living on the poverty line? Why you not transforming that? Well, go by the Black Bull in Wall Street and take out a picture in your short pants what Farley said to wear and address and send it home to Chumakat where they see the idiot you are.
Thank you, Monsignor George. Brian.
Good afternoon to you, Dominic Romain.
Greetings.
Dominic, all you need to do is to tape that fella and just keep playing it back very early in your show every Sunday. That's all you need to do because he keeps regurgitating the same thing every single time, nothing new.
Yeah.
And you could also ask him, after living in America for 40 years, why don't you buy that building for those people in Chumakat who you love so dearly? Contribute now, purchase the building, fix it up, you understand, so that the people of Chumakat can benefit instead of waiting for a handout. You put your hand in your pocket and assist the people. That is simple as that, but he wouldn't do that. You could ask him that. Dominic, let me tell you something. Whole of last week, the week after, this is the first week after Easter, not so, Dominic?
Yes.
Dominic, I look on TV6 whole week and make sure I didn't want to miss anything. I look at UNC3 TV2. And Dominic, I have not heard a word from Diane Haddad. I have not heard a word from Martin George. You know why, Dominic? Because they're still checking money, Dominic. Because this Prime Minister had 5 vessels moving between Tobago and Trinidad, had additional flights moving between Tobago and Trinidad. Over 120,000 people from Trinidad went across to Tobago for the long weekend, Dominic. They're still checking money. They can't even afford to come to give interview, Dominic. They're still checking money. Oh, God. and he ain't do nothing, and he don't care about Tobagonians, Dominic? Huh? He doesn't care?
Indeed.
If this Prime Minister did not do what he did with respect to those brand new vessels, and people say, let me tell you something, they say it's running smooth, it's like water. Smooth, smooth, smooth. You don't even feel it. You understand? If he didn't do that, what would have been the case this weekend going here, Dominic? Then Hara and them would have still be making noise for the last week on the TV, but they can't say nothing because they're still checking money. Is anybody going to congratulate the Prime Minister for that? Is Miss Mother Bernie going to do that? No, she's not going to do that. You know why? Because it's not in her interest to do so. She's talking about one lousy gas station like if it had none on the island. I swear when I hear her say that, apparently there had no gas station on the island. So much this Prime Minister and this government has done. Not just recently, but over many, many years. Because I knew what Tobago was like 40 years ago when I first went. And I know what it is today because I'm a regular traveler to Tobago. And I have seen a marked change. You understand? And for people to come now and talk and call this Prime Minister a liar, what does he lie and say? You know, people just talking in the wind because there's nobody there to ask them, well, what is he referring to? Demonstrate to us what it is he said that has you so concerned. But now that the other government, now that Farley and them in power, and you're making a phone call and you ain't getting a response, you're concerned. Don't be concerned. As they say, you don't have to dress up to walk in the office. So tie up your head, put on your sapat and go down in the office and knock on the door. You don't have to dress up again, so don't worry yourself. You're easy. Go and knock on the door and ask them what's going on. That's what you said you could do. Open door policy. Well, you walk down there just so you don't have to dress up. Walk down there and ask them what's going on. Because all his only contribution so far is to breadfruit tree. You understand? I ain't see you do nothing else. Good. And the deputy in Trinidad, so he apparently he working from Trinidad, so that is a day. Collecting money. You understand? Not helping people in Tobago. No. He ain't on that stupidness. Cheese stupidness. He ain't on that. He in Trinidad. And this is what we have to take. Well, all you, according to Jenny, all you take bamboo. Take that. And that fella who keep calling from America, just tape it and just play it back early in the show and cut, edit it now so it don't take so long now to take up precious people time. And ask him, as I said, 2 questions. Why you don't buy the building you always keep talking about? Because you're getting US dollars, so you could afford to buy it. After 40 years, you can't afford to buy that? Well, then you waste 40 years of your life in America. You understand? And you have no help to the same black people you're always talking about. Because you can't contribute nothing. You want handout just like everybody else. It's a handout you waiting on. If you say we waiting on handout, well, you waiting on handout too. You understand? So you continue to wait for the handout, brother. I keep repeating yourself. Thank you very much, Dominic. Have a good afternoon. Get home
Thank
safe.
you, Brian. You too. So I can take one more. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Dominic. How are you doing?
Greetings, sir.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to yourself, Jenny, everybody, what's interesting, I listened to the Bonnie lady, and of course was treated with the same thing, and I'm glad you engaged them. And people have to understand, when people come, Dominic, my problem with these people are that these are adults. They're over 50 years, Miss Bonnie boasting about dependency. A black woman want to preach to a black woman and with her Maisie Tobago accent, something I like, and you're telling them that you want to praise a woman for giving you $500 a month. Take $120 million to give people. Now, Kamala made a good study of African people through that same Cambridge Analytica. And she knows sometimes how gullible we can be. So Miss Bonnie is boasting about a gas station. Miss Bonnie will not talk about sandals. The introduction of sandals and the establishment of such a hotel would have involved even from the agricultural sector, the food that would have been served in the hotel. Tobago farmers would have benefited. Only that is what you look for. You don't look for 500 a month from a woman. Because you know why? The investment you put in that would have been done in Sanders would have got the return. And what you call sustainable employment. Well, I don't take Wall Street serious. Because Wall Street and they are myopic. Because good leadership to you is when you can tell me come in the office with a short pants. Wall Street, you can get turned away in a short pants if you don't have anything beneficial to give me in an office. And these are people, Dominic, they are over 50 to 60 years. That's what they're telling young people today. And when Dr. Oli, and the way they're small-minded, they're taking into consideration what you can benefit by government approving whatever money they can borrow to give you 300. You made the point earlier that if I work in CPEP from 8 to 1 during the day, I take 1 or 2 hours rest. The time's hard. And 4 to 7 in the afternoon, if I could sell B5, if I could sell anything, because the middle class in this society is still sustainable. They still buy. If you go to the malls, they're full. Right? People set themselves to buy. So, my thing, brother, listen, Dr. Oli, and you can see why 270s are different. One is stress because you can't get into office to borrow over the threshold to give gullible people. And one looking good because, you know why? He's telling you all the strength for delivery is in the parliament.
I better leave it there, boss.
This is what he's putting forward. And a lady in yellow, preventing all from doing that, to have us to be exposed on a good program.
All right, we had to leave it there.
Yeah, I know. Take it like that.